Good morning, guys and gals and everybody from around the world. Thank you for watching and tuning in to the Data Center Dude watch party here on the channel. Things are proving interesting this morning. SAP's website is not having a good day. So trying to get things up and running is proving a little bit difficult for us and for them. So I'm going to continue to try, but I just wanted to hop on and say hi to you guys. Welcome. How's everybody doing today? Appreciate everybody tuning in. Bearing with, oh God, now we're completely 503 offline. All right. A lot of demand for SAP these days, I'd say, in these times that we're having. But they're trying. I can tell the URLs keep changing. Oh man, so I guess I'm curious, what are you guys looking forward to the most? I was really hoping to see Christian with his keynote this morning. We were supposed to have Sting performing. That was going to be a good time. But let's see. Yeah, it's just spinning its wheels right now. So for those that don't know the schedule for this week, I wanted to go over it while I had sort of a captive audience. Today we're going to be doing SAP SapphireNOW, the keynote from Christian Klein, CEO Christian Klein, supposedly starting here in about 15 minutes, a little under 15 minutes. Their CMO was supposed to come on as well to do a bit of a warm-up act to lead into the keynote. And that's going to last about an hour. And then after that, we were going to do an after party where I was going to bring on fellow NetApper Kirk Ryan to talk about Azure NetApp files, SAP in Azure, and the HANA certification from this past. Man, it feels like we've been on that journey for 2 years to get that certification. So lots of stuff to discuss. Oh, page is refreshing. Oh, we might have some action. Anyway, I'll go through this real quick. Good morning, Sam. Good morning, Kirk. Or good afternoon, Kirk, I should say, since you're over in the UK. All right, the page just auto-refreshed on its own. So we might be getting somewhere. Let me see if I can get to this. Oh, nope. Oh, this is good times. Good times. It's like trying to shop online on Black Friday. You just can't get anywhere. Tomorrow, we're going to be doing this exact same thing for Cisco Live. They rescheduled theirs from a couple of weeks ago, if you might remember. And then Thursday, we're going to be doing the Day 2 Tech Demos keynote for VMon. We got a lot of stuff happening throughout this week. Thank you guys all for tuning in. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. You can find links to everything else in the description underneath the video. But yeah, I'm right now, what we're trying to get done is hopefully within the next 10 minutes or so, they can get the website sorted out and we can get started with the keynote. So you got a few minutes. If you don't have a drink yet, if you need to take a quick bio break, all that good stuff, we got about 10 to 15 minutes here. But since we don't have a warm-up act from the CMO, I figured I'd come in and warm you guys up and let's see if we can talk. We've got all kinds of stuff we can talk about. And Kirk, I see that you're already in the chat. Hell, it might just be me and you for the next couple of hours. Andrew, what's up, man? Thank you for the compliment. I didn't put anything in it this morning. It's kind of all natural today. All right, let's see if we can find this. What if I open it in a new? Nope, service unavailable. Oh boy. So SAP just tweeted out a link, and even that goes to a service unavailable. Oh, there we go. All right, we got action. 1 second, let me switch some things around here, guys. Do I have audio? There we go.
items such as life-saving PPE into the hands of people who need it most, our frontline workers. For example, we are proud that we were able to support Ram Tool in sourcing 500 hospital beds in just 30 minutes. We've also sought out ways to make a direct impact on the lives of people who are suffering the most. Partnering with Gen Youth, the child health and wellness nonprofit, we created the SAP for
Let's
Kids
enjoy,
program,
guys. Have fun.
which helps families find food and
Be
other
lively in the
resources
chat,
during
ask
the
any
crisis.
questions, and stick around for
We
after the
also
show.
established a
For Kirk
€3
Ryan and
million
myself talking about what we
COVID-19
watched,
emergency fund
SAP
to
and
help
Azure,
support
along
the
with Azure
needs of
NetApp
the
files
World
and all
Health
kinds of good
Organization,
stuff.
the CDC Foundation, and other enterprises serving communities in crisis. But we're looking to do even more. We want to help beat this. Shortly, we'll be launching a COVID-19 tracking app in Germany that will alert people who've come into contact with infected patients. This will allow public health workers to stop the virus's spread.
Uh-oh. No, come on. I thought we had it. Pum 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 pum. I thought we had it. I thought we were good to go. Oh man. They thought they had it too? Yeah. That's good. Maybe I'll keep a little Spotify rolling for us. See if it recovers. I see the buffering stripes going. Come on, baby. You can do it. Let's give it a little... Oh, that's the Periscope feed. That's how I was able to get it. User was live. Broadcast not found. Oh, no! There's a lot of hand-wringing going. Yeah. Yeah. I give them all the credit in the world for just plowing forward, though. I'm trying to pull up the actual page here. And it's just spinning its wheels, but we'll give it a second. We'll see if it recovers. Now you have time to do a demo of ANF with SAP HANA? Yeah. Kirk, if you got a SAP, you got an hour to spin up an SAP HANA environment. Go. It's the cloud, right? An hour should be plenty of time. It's bada bing, bada boom. There's literally nothing on their social media addressing the website issues, and I'm starting to feel like it's me, not them. But it's not. I promise. We're so close. Let's see if this one refreshes. No. Broadcast not found. Come on, Sapphire. The good news is we're still in the warm-up act. Is it time for a little Nick karaoke? I'll do a little dance. I am terrible at karaoke, I promise. I could do fun voiceover. You guys could drop voiceover lines into the things you want me to say. That could be fun. Come on, SAP. Oh, we're back to this. No! Spinning the wheels. At least watching the comments here is a nice pastime. Yeah. I hope this isn't just me. I hope it's not. I hope it's sort of universal. If I try that. Nope, broadcast not found. Wow, they've already killed the Periscope one. Yeah, okay. Thank you for the confirmation there. Oh, boy. Dead in France as well. Okay. Thank you, Cube. I almost don't want to touch anything. I just want to let it sit there. I mean, earlier, I got excited because of the Periscope feed. I thought I'd found a little sneaky back door that we could just watch instead of off the main website. Where are those links again? Starting Vision conversion starting at 10:45. I think that's the same. Yeah, I just right now I just don't want to. I want to stop clicking things. Yeah, I'm getting 503 service unavailable errors again on other entry points. Oh. They tweeted out a new one, and then it's already saying broadcast not found. Live streaming is hard. I'm not kidding. Well, Kirk, it might just be you and me today, brother. Which is not a problem. I'm a little disappointed. I was really excited about seeing this one. They have 4 minutes left. No pressure. Yeah, I've been trying to pull it up since about... yeah, Kirk, we might just have a captive audience today to talk about Azure NetApp files and running SAP with it. So prepare thyself. Yeah, I've been trying to get this pulled up since about 10 o'clock, since about an hour, for an hour now. And the website has just been getting slammed. A myriad of 404 errors, 503 unavailable errors. We were not prepared. Where is... Yeah, one of the things that has yet to be figured out in the live streaming world is how to do your own syndication. Meaning, how could I have my own RTMP syndication? Yep. Okay. The hashtag SapphireNOW, if you want to check that out on Twitter, is mostly people tweeting 503 errors. I'm sure they know at this. They have to know. But yeah, if people could somehow syndicate their own live streams rather than having to use things like XSplit or Restream or anything like that, I would love to see somebody build, and it's something I've thought about trying to do, an RTMP syndication endpoint just in the cloud that would auto scale based on how much demand there was. So, yep. And the irony is like all their pre-canned tweets with their links to their streams and everything are still going out. So that's not helping. That's compounding it because people keep clicking on those. Oh, you almost can't keep up with the hashtag SapphireNOW tweet stream. It looks like the Matrix just racing by. Oh boy. You know, I agree with that, Jason. I try and preach the good word of YouTube and Twitch. People insist, companies insist on hosting it on their own platform, and I'm going, yeah, you might want to reconsider that. Oh, I think we got it back. Oh, hang on. Did this one come back? Nope, okay. I've got another one going over here.
SAP has opened access to our Ariba network to connect buyers with the suppliers that have the goods and services they need. This has been key in getting items such as life-saving PPE into the hands of people who need it most, our frontline workers.
This is the Periscope
For example,
video again.
We are proud that we were able to support RAM Tool in sourcing 500 hospital beds in just 30 minutes. We've also sought out ways to make a direct impact on the lives of people who are suffering the most. Partnering with Gen Youth, the child health and wellness nonprofit, we created the SAP for Kids program, which helps families find food and other resources during the crisis. We also established a €3 million COVID-19 emergency fund to help support the needs of the World Health Organization, the CDC Foundation, and other enterprises serving communities in crisis.
Bravo.
But we're looking to do even more. We want to help beat this. Shortly, we'll be launching a COVID-19 tracking app in Germany that will alert people who've come into contact with infected patients. This will allow public health workers to stop the virus's spread as quickly as possible. The fight against the invisible enemy isn't over, and we're not backing down. Together, we will overcome COVID-19. Together, we will adjust to new operating models. Together, we will come back stronger than before. Together, we got this.
So there's no way I can get the Periscope stuff off the bottom left, but I think as long as I don't mouse over
Like
it, it just
many
shows
of
the
you,
number.
I really value and desperately miss the in-person interactions that are such a part of our daily lives and our events like SapphireNOW. Now, this clearly isn't how we imagine this year's event to be, but there are many positives. For example, our new digital experience is being shared in 14 languages around the world, allowing us to reach more people than ever. Today isn't the start of SapphireNOW Reimagined. We launched our experience in April with SapphireNOW Unplugged, which features conversations with many of the leaders, thinkers, influencers, and experts you'd expect to see at our in-person events. They shared their thoughts on a range of issues, from the future of workplace collaboration to tips for doing our best during these challenging times. SapphireNOW Converge is a digital network with live streamed and on-demand content designed to deliver the insights you need to stay connected. Each day this week, you'll hear from a member of the SAP Executive Board as they set the vision and strategy ahead of the various Converge episodes. You will hear customer stories that cut across all business and industries. You will also hear about our latest innovations and be able to participate in live interactions and expert conversations. We will end this week with a very informative Q&A session with each member of our SAP Executive Board. You can submit questions anytime this week through our event platform. Also on our platform,
I think they restarted the video
you'll be able to access one of our
this,
new showcases.
because it's saying 9 minutes, but
we have interactive experiences
that was a few minutes
take
ago.
you on a journey through the intelligent enterprise to learn about customer experience, procurement, manufacturing, and delivery. We want you to maximize this experience, so please let us know what you think, because, as always, it's our goal to help your world run at its best. If you are just joining us, welcome to the countdown to SapphireNOW Vision. We have an incredible lineup for you today. Soon, we'll hear from SAP Chief Executive Officer Christian Klein as he shares his vision for the intelligent enterprise and how that can enable you to become more resilient, more profitable, and more sustainable. Christian will also be joined by Lutz Muschke, Deputy Chairman and member of the Executive Board of Finance and IT at Porsche, to discuss the challenges the automotive industry has been facing and how SAP has helped them excel. And finally, we'll be welcoming 17-time Grammy Award-winning artist and rock and roll Hall of Famer
Periscope
Sting,
feed. So
who will perform
that's
3
the only one I was able to
songs
get
he
to come
personally
up.
selected just for you.
I don't think it's repeating.
So stick around.
The countdown clock's still going.
One of the benefits of taking SapphireNOW online is that this is now a truly global event. To celebrate this, I am joined by 3 of our regional leaders, DJ Paoni,
Yes, Vivek,
Steve Zakakis,
you'll
and
be able to
Scott
watch it here.
Russell. Welcome to our countdown.
Thanks for joining us.
Hey, Alicia. Hey, Alicia.
Hi, everybody. Scott, let's get started. You run SAP across the Asia-Pacific region. Talk with us about what some of the big challenges and priorities are for your customers right now in your region.
Look, I think our customers are facing challenges all around the
If
world.
you're trying to get to the
Whether it be cash
website,
flow, how to serve their
events.sap.com,
customers,
you're not going to be able to.
employees. The real focus is resilience, really driving resilience in the business. And the only way they can really do that is with digital technology such as we're using today to be able to drive their business forward, which I think will sustain not just in the short term, but in the long term.
So Steve, same question for you.
What we see is very, very similar. And to complement what Scott just said, I wanted to add that here we feel that customers are very focused on return on investment and return of experience. So trying to see what can we do for them quickly in short time that can have real impact to their customers and the customer of their customers. So B2B and B2B2C.
So DJ, when you think across your customer portfolio in North America, is there anything unique that stood out for you, be it by industry or by location, that you've recognized, or are you seeing some pretty common needs across this COVID period?
I think customers are looking for us as SAP to provide them a little bit of stability and also business continuity in difficult times, but also in good times. And I think that starts with people, right? They want the best and the brightest and most talented people in the industry supporting them, keeping their mission critical applications up and running. At the same time, we're a company born on innovation. So they want us to continue to innovating into the future, think ahead, invest in their industry. I'd say for now and in the future, they want a company like SAP to stand behind them, right? Show some compassion and help them deliver their products and services to people who need them, and to help them do that digitally and in what the new norm will be, virtually.
So Scott, when you think about what your customers have been asking us
5-minute warning, guys. Hopefully this stays up. We're good to go. Christian will be up in 5 minutes, and
do you think
we'll get
that's
this party
going to
started.
change when we come out of this period, or are you going to see some similarities in terms of what they're prioritizing now and in the future?
If there's one thing that I keep on hearing from our customers, small, medium, and large, whether you're in the manufacturing, which is really strong in this region, or in other industries, that ability to be flexible, agility, and speed. And that's the expectation of SAP. You need a digital platform that doesn't just give you the information, it gives you it at the real time so they can make better decisions and adapting to a situation which for all of us is very unpredictable.
In a short while, we're going to hear from Christian as he talks about the vision for our intelligent enterprise. And then that will be followed by several channels of content throughout the week.
The Misa,
that
this is the
touches
Periscope
on
feed.
all of our priority solution areas.
Just so you guys know,
and how
that's how
they
I've
work
only
to
been able to.
enable
The website's
an intelligent enterprise. So let's talk about, what are you most looking forward to this week?
Well, thank you, Alicia. For the first time, I have to say that I'm going to watch Sapphire without being jet lagged. So that's probably one of the beauties of the digital experience. I think our customers and our partners want to see how SAP will make the structural changes needed.
Lots to say about this, but I'll save it till later.
The agility, the flexibility,
this is a
the
great learning
resilience,
experience for
the
all large
empathy
corporations
towards
doing
the
virtual
needs of
events in
each
2020.
business are met there. It has to be cloud.
It needed
has
to happen.
Be integration. It has to be industry solutions, and it has to be speed and time to the market.
So DJ, how about for yourself?
Yeah, Alicia, this is my 24th Sapphire. So this is going to be a little bit different experience. I'm really excited about it. I just love the buzz that Sapphire creates. The keynotes are always very inspiring. Where are we going? Where are we taking our customers? How we're going to get them there? I love to hear our customer success stories at Sapphire. Every industry, every size. Our customers are the ultimate barometer of our success. So I'm looking forward to hearing from Adair Fox-Martin later, who's going to be speaking with Chobani.
Imagine you went to Sapphire in person,
$1 billion business, and
60,000 plus people,
from them on how they're
and they only opened one door to the trade show expo floor.
Marketplace.
And Scott, what about
And they've been
yourself?
advertising for a
Any
month. It was going to open at 11 a.m. Eastern, but there was only one door.
Customers or
for all those people to go through
that
at one
we've
time.
been doing within SAP that come to mind for you.
There's probably a couple of examples, Alicia.
Great
The
learning
one
experience for
that
all
I
of us.
love is our partnership with the Malaysian Ministry of Health, together with EY, and using our SAP and Qualtrics technology. They were really focused on getting ventilator and health equipment and PPEs to the communities in the right places. And working with us, we built an app in less than a week that they were able to use to be able to navigate to get the right information, but also the right logistics, the right equipment in the right places to support the local communities. So, no matter where you are in the world, the use of the digital
merger with
technology
Zoom,
to drive a cause to help the community, that certainly made me very proud.
So DJ, same for you. So any examples of
90 seconds, guys, before Christian comes up,
we've put out in the market that have helped our customers significantly, or customers themselves that have been thriving during this period? What have you been seeing?
One of my favorite stories is how SAP is helping feed children across America, right? There were 124,000 schools closed due to the pandemic. There were more than 30 million children depend on school meals as a primary source of nutrition every single day. In a matter of days, SAP developed an application called SAP for Kids to help families find feeding sites in their local communities, given all the school closures. And our employees just jumped right into action. They volunteered their time and, put our technology to work for those who need it.
I think we can all agree that this has been a great period of inspiration and innovation during a time that has been challenging, but we've remained committed to helping all of our customers around the world maintain business as best as possible, because that's always been our vision at SAP. I want to thank all of you, DJ, Steve, Scott, for joining us today and sharing with us insights from across all of your markets. And thank you to everyone who tuned into our countdown. I hope you enjoyed it. The SapphireNOW Vision keynote is about to begin, so I'll see you back here in just a moment.
Fingers crossed. It's like a production company deciding to try and launch their own Netflix rather than using the tech that's already available. Our industry is too much wheel reinventing. Yeah. The tech to do this properly still exists.
Hello to everyone around the world joining us for SapphireNOW Reimagined. I am delighted to welcome you, and we look forward to providing you a best-in-class experience over the next few days. Of course, there's a reason we've called this year's event SapphireNOW Reimagined. We would have loved to be spending time with you in person.
Hi, Gabriel. Thanks for joining us.
That's not possible
from Uruguay.
at the moment. Instead, we're happy to share with you our new SapphireNOW Reimagined experience. We've been working diligently over the past few weeks to transform our in-person event into a digital experience that is unique and relevant to you. Our presentations, which include SAP customers, experts, and guest speakers from around the world, have been translated into 14 different languages and tailored to your time zone for your convenience. And it doesn't end this week. Everything, even the live events, are available on demand, so you can watch when it's most convenient for you.
Live events
it's
available
always on
demand? Then that
if you
they're
can't
not,
find
are they
anything
still live?
left to binge watch, we've got you covered. Kicking off today's SapphireNOW vision is SAP Chief Executive Officer Christian Klein. Christian will share with you his vision to help all businesses become intelligent enterprises. He'll explain how we are leveraging our strategy, expertise, solutions, and partner ecosystem to help every business run at their best. Over the course of this week, SAP executive board members will welcome you each day as they discuss the building blocks of an intelligent enterprise. You can look forward to hearing from Adair Fox-Martin, Jürgen Mueller, Luka Mucic, and Thomas Saraseg as they are joined by valued SAP customers. And make sure you tune in at the end of the week when we'll host a special Q&A session with all of our executive board members. Traditionally, SapphireNOW includes a fantastic concert. Just because we can't all be in the same room doesn't mean we can't celebrate together. And that is why during SapphireNOW Vision, we'll be joined by 17-time Grammy Award-winning artist and Rock and Roll Hall of Famer, Sting. He's personally selected a playlist to perform for us that you don't want to miss. As you settle into your home office, be it a desk, your kitchen countertop, or your sofa, we invite you to engage with us throughout the week by using #SapphireNOW on social media. Now, it's my immense honor to welcome the Chief Executive Officer of SAP, Christian Klein.
Over the past few decades, technology
That was the
has
shot from
helped
Dark Knight.
businesses to thrive,
I thought
new economies to emerge,
No, I gotta turn that off.
and the lives of millions of people to improve, all across the globe. Thanks to the proliferation of technology, the entire economy has been accelerated. Business has become digital, processes have been automated, and operations have been scaled. Agility has become the key determinant.
Is this a movie
Activities
trailer?
have been globalized. Things have been connected, enabling
It's
a
so
multitude of
moody,
innovations
broody.
to emerge. And since 1972, we have partnered with you and led each and every evolutionary stage of your business. We helped you serve rising demands with technology. We helped you run your processes digitally end to end, and allowed you to get transparent 360 views of your business. While doing so,
See, it's a Dark
we
Knight again.
forged long-lasting relationships built on trust. So today we stand strong together as we face some of the biggest challenges of our time. At this very
Damn right it
moment,
is, Chris.
as we
Damn
are all
right.
affected,
Smoking
it is
Skull
clearer
Belt's
than
the
ever
best
how
one.
tremendous the impact can be when the processes we rely on come to a stop. Our world has suffered from the impact of the economic evolution of recent decades. Never have we used so many natural resources, emitted so much greenhouse gas, and produced so much waste. To brave the challenges of today and seize the opportunities of tomorrow, it is our collective responsibility to care about a sustainable world as much as we care about business success, so that we can achieve prosperity and health for future generations. If we continue the way we're going, business success and quality of life will soon be restrained by diminishing environmental conditions.
Moral imperatives with dramatic music behind it to make sure that you know it's
Now,
important. that you pay
Imagine we could change this together. Imagine we can change our world for the better. Imagine that individually we become more resilient and successful, while collectively we become more sustainable and responsible.
Some post house that normally does 2-minute movie trailers probably helped them put this together. Whoa! Little Hans Zimmer here.
And now we tell you,
Boom.
we can.
That was a good movie.
We can, and together we will. Becoming intelligent enterprises allows us to achieve incredible business outcomes across all dimensions. It allows us to drive resiliency, to steer your companies through challenging times. It allows us to drive profitability, both top and bottom line, enabling growth and increased productivity. It allows us to drive sustainability by reducing carbon footprint, waste, and transitioning to the circular economy. As intelligent enterprises, we can achieve all of this at the same time. We can become more resilient and make sustainability profitable and profitability sustainable.
That was a great keynote. Was that it? Are we done?
Ladies and gentlemen,
I guess not. Sorry.
A warm welcome to this year's SapphireNOW. I don't know about you, but this short video gives me goosebumps. I'm asking you, asking all of us to become resilient, sustainable, and profitable growth companies. I believe Sapphire is the perfect place for this call to action. There's hardly any event that brings together so many decision makers of the world's most important companies. I'm convinced that together, as intelligent enterprises, we can turn the world's biggest challenges into our greatest opportunities. The recent pandemic showed us how helpless we can feel if something hits us unexpected. This crisis will drastically impact societies and businesses for months or probably even years. The digital transformation is no longer an option, but a must. When we can't interact in person, we are forced to find other ways of doing business. With the world in lockdown, business leaders across the world worry whether their companies have the resilience to survive. We have all realized companies which use innovative technologies were more competitive before the crisis and are more resilient in the crisis. Those that enabled new digital business models, drove automation, and adapted their supply chains were better prepared for the unexpected. This crisis shows us, if your business is not resilient, you will be left with nothing. Once you have mastered resiliency, you can focus on profitability. No doubt, your priority probably was to first organize survival mode and take care of your employees. But let's face it, to emerge stronger out of this crisis, it is now more important than ever to set up your enterprise for growth. Today's technologies allow you to do just that. With new business possibilities, personalized customer offerings, or new license models. These levers lead to a better customer experience and as a result, to additional revenue streams for your enterprise. But new technologies also increase the scale.
You just have to quit
of
shaving
your
for about
operations.
3 years, Christopher.
Infusing artificial intelligence drives process automation and productivity. All of this helps to secure the profitability of your business. No doubt, in the current crisis, health, safety, and business continuity are top priorities. But let's not forget, our biggest challenge out there is the climate change. We are at the turning point. Just as we cannot ignore the pandemic and its impact, we cannot continue to ignore climate change and the contribution of our enterprises. If major industries such as utilities, agriculture, and transport alone were to use digital technology to significantly reduce their carbon output, this could equal the positive impact of 500 billion trees. Just imagine the impact if all industries joined the effort. We can make this happen, as 85% of the largest carbon emission intensive companies want our software to manage their processes. The current situation has shown us we can quickly drive change if we want to. Let's seize this moment of change to build resilient, profitable, but also more sustainable enterprises. Do you feel this responsibility? I definitely feel it.
Sure.
We are all business women and men, and we care about our business success. But at the same time, we are members of our communities, and we are responsible for what kind of earth we will leave to our future generations. We have a unique opportunity. For 7 weeks now, I have another great reason to care. Her name is Emma. I can tell you, I can hardly wait for another sleepless night. I want nothing more than to see her and my 3-year-old son Max grow up in a healthy environment without limitations caused by us. The good thing is, we are in the driver's seat. And this is not only about the next generation. This is also about our customers and employees who choose companies which are real about sustainability. Today and in the future, companies are not only measured based on their financial performance, but on their contribution to society. Together we can lead this change and become intelligent enterprises.
Really?
To make sustainability profitable and profitability sustainable.
Do you choose iPhone over
The
Android
business
because of
values
what
of
Apple does for
becoming an
society?
intelligent enterprise are clear. Resiliency, profitability, and sustainability. Our more than 400,000 customers don't question the
Or
business
vice versa.
outcomes. But how to master the transformation is the key challenge for many other companies out there. We can help you achieve this. As Chief Operating Officer, I was responsible for SAP's own business transformation and supported many customers. I learned that a real business transformation will be only successful if an enterprise is willing to lead from the top. A true business transformation does not happen only with an intelligent workflow solution, or by selecting many best-of-breed vendors leading to fragmented IT landscapes, or by just moving your IT landscape on a public cloud infrastructure and creating data lakes. No other company is more experienced than SAP to transform your business, because we have been doing this for almost 50 years.
That's true.
I would like to focus now on our product strategy and demonstrate why only SAP can deliver the business outcomes we just talked about. Our product strategy is tailored to one goal: being the innovative and trusted partner for your holistic business transformation. We have spent a lot of time with you to understand and address your requirements, challenges, and chances. As a result, we have evolved our vision of the intelligent enterprise. I will briefly touch upon the components. Our intelligence suite supports end-to-end business processes, and it is using new technologies to drive real business innovations. No other software has our ability to connect demand with supply, with C/4HANA and digital supply chain, and other important business processes like quote-to-cash to enable new license models. When we talk about lines of businesses, we will stay number one in finance, HR, spend management, digital supply chain. And we will enhance our efforts regarding solutions like C/4HANA, commerce, and use our partnerships to further expand our capabilities in the front office. Our experience management solution offers insights into the emotions and feelings of customers, employees, and other critical stakeholders. They bring experience data into the intelligent enterprise. Ryan Smith and the Qualtrics team will share more details during the experience day. Our business technology platform is the technical foundation of the intelligent enterprise. It allows our complete ecosystem to integrate SAP and non-SAP applications and data across hybrid landscapes, extend existing, and create new innovative business applications. Besides its integration and extension capabilities, it enables cross-analytics, end-to-end reporting and planning, plus a 360 view of your business, using real-time SAP and non-SAP data. With regards to the commodity infrastructure layer, we will continue to partner with Microsoft Azure, Google Cloud Platform, AWS, or Alibaba. But we will own the business platform, and we will own the application layer. SAP Industry Cloud offers cloud-native industry applications, delivering differentiating and innovative business capabilities for the fourth industrial revolution. We will partner with our ecosystem to gain broad coverage across all industries, building on our partners' expertise to expand the scope of our solutions and enhance the vertical capabilities of SAP. Thomas will give you an impressive example. And together with you, our more than 400,000 customers worldwide, we will further evolve this. Because you know best which industry best practices matter most to you.
That's what it sounded like
and bring you
to
a
me
concrete
too,
business outcome. Today, most business processes
I thought we were going to get a
have clear
HANA mention there
processes
for
indicated
Google
diagrams.
and Azure.
You order, you sell, you pay, you deliver. It's one step after the other. Between these processes and the process steps, there are many dependencies. Only SAP can bring together all this data from the many different stakeholders in one business network, allowing you to manage all these dependencies in real time.
Stick around after the
With
keynote.
our
We're going to
new
have an
Climate
after party
21 program,
with talking
we will
exactly
support
about that.
our
the music.
customers to become sustainable companies by building analytical and transactional capabilities into our core business applications. This helps you to understand and minimize the carbon footprint of your products and operations, a huge step in taking climate action. Then again, all of this doesn't work without three key principles. 1, integration. 2, innovation. 3, agility and speed. Let me tell you why these principles matter for all of us at SAP and which concrete benefits they bring to you. Regardless of the size or industry of an enterprise, it is fundamental in the digital age to run your enterprise seamlessly across the value chain. Without integrated business processes and a harmonized data model, you cannot make use of billions of data to offer personalized experience for your customers. You cannot manage real-time demand and supply seamlessly, because at the end of the day, selling a broad application portfolio without integration is like selling a car without an engine. Now, let's come to the second key principle, innovation. For us, this is all about how to increase the effectiveness of your enterprise. We are embedding artificial intelligence in our business applications to drive process automation and productivity. Every day, SAP HANA proves its role as strategic and innovative enabler at more than 32,000 customers. Why else should 92% of the Forbes Global 2000 companies use SAP technology? In addition to artificial intelligence and SAP HANA, together with our customers, we will develop game-changing business capabilities for your transformation on top of our business technology platform. The third principle, agility and speed. Today, an accelerated time to value for ERP is key. The times of 3-year-long IT projects until they go live are over. You need to be able to quickly react to business needs in today's fast-changing environment. We have made excellent progress to deliver faster innovations to our customers. We modularized the stack. Now, the average SAP S/4HANA public cloud implementation takes less than 4 months. We increased the speed of our release cycles in the cloud, delivering innovations every 4 weeks.
Like what?
Now, let's see how all of this works together in
Don't
reality
just say that,
with a
substantiate it.
real-life customer example. Today and during the upcoming days, I want to bring the intelligent enterprise to life.
Yeah, I'm sorry, guys. There
Please
were no
join me
buzzword
on
bingo cards
an end-to-end
provided
journey from
for this
buying
party.
to delivery and
I
beyond,
apologize. We'll be more prepared
showing
next time.
how you can achieve growth and sustainability with integrated, intelligent, and highly resilient digital value chains. For this, I have chosen one of the most disruptive industries you can think of, and which has a tremendous impact on all other industries. One that represents, unlike hardly any other, how business models are changing, how enterprises need to work differently, and how much sustainability matters: the automotive industry. We know most people are not thinking about ordering a new car right now, and certainly not a luxury sports car. many are understandably worried about their economic future because of the corona crisis. As a result, the car industry is struggling with a sharp drop in sales. And it is technologically challenged like hardly any other by climate change, which is exactly why we wanted to show you that few other industries are as innovative, as globally positioned, and as economically significant. Mobility is and remains a prerequisite for growth and increasing
That's it.
prosperity
I'm having
in the world.
robots on the backdrop of all my
Our
Zoom calls
partnership
from
with
now on.
Porsche began
That was cool.
long before the crisis. The company is a real showcase for innovation, transformation, and the will to reinvent itself in response to the challenges of our time. So let us gain first-hand insights into the fast-changing industry. Insights from one of the most innovative automotive manufacturers worldwide. Please welcome Lutz Meschke, CFO of Porsche.
Thank you, Christian, for the kind introduction and for welcoming Porsche at this virtual Sapphire. We are happy to be part of it. Ladies and gentlemen, mobility has always been one of the most exciting industries, at least from my point of view. But at the moment it is more exciting than ever before. We are right in the middle of a huge transformation. Mobility, like many other industries, is at the beginning of a new era. And this is currently putting us under particular pressure. We are experiencing the tension between innovation pressure, competitive pressure, and cost pressure. What do I mean by that? Let's start with the pressure to innovate. Our customers have always been demanding, but some of them have different requests today than they did 10 years ago.
He's definitely on a blue screen.
In some
floor.
cases, they also have additional wishes. They want
floating
digitized, connected, and electrified
above
cars.
the superhighways.
Sustainability has become a hard currency, and yet the typical Porsche attributes must not be missing. But it's not just the customer's wishes that are tightening our conditions. We find ourselves in a political climate in which driving bans in inner cities or even total prohibitions on certain vehicle types are being discussed. And all this is happening under increasing competitive pressure. While many classic OEMs are slowly adapting to the new era, new players from the tech industry are entering the market with radical innovation and at an incredible speed. And while we invest in innovation and our competitors are anything but asleep, we still have to keep an eye on our returns. My third point is cost pressure. We at Porsche have grown very fast in the recent years. We have many clever minds in our company. Of course, our fixed costs have also risen as a result. In addition, we must continue to invest in new technologies. Until 2024, we have planned to invest 15 billion euros for electrification and digitalization. But there's even more to it than that. The corona pandemic just showed us insistently
I wonder how much of
how
Porsche's
important
market
it is to act with a
enthusiast
sustainably
community
profitable setup.
versus
And secondly,
everyday car driver.
It reminded us of how
At this
crucial
point.
it is to work with a resilient supply chain. In order to open up new business areas, we integrated digitalization as a central part of our Porsche strategy in 2015. Our goal? To transfer the Porsche brand experience into the digital future, thereby creating a benefit for the customer on the one hand and added value for the company on the other. Our efforts include topics such as connectivity, automated driving, new mobility services, and digital sales channels, but also Production 4.0. Porsche Production 4.0 is smart, lean, and green. Our first purely electric Porsche sports car has been launched last year, the Taycan. It is produced CO2 neutrally at our headquarters in Stuttgart-Zuffenhausen. And it will not be the only purely electric Porsche. In 2025, we expect to deliver more than 50% of our cars with an electric drive. We have great respect for the enormous challenges faced by the automotive industry in times of transformation. But we also see a unique opportunity. We are in the midst of driving our transformation towards a truly digital and data-driven company.
Ingo. Yeah.
As we know that in the digital
Also
area, we don't have all the competencies that we need in-house. We truly believe in strong partnerships. Just like our strategic partnership with SAP. We have been collaborating for several decades already. But that was only the beginning. Last year, we have sealed a new strategic partnership to allow each partner tap into the expertise and experience of the other. We have together set ourselves the goal of driving forward co-innovations and jointly develop new solutions for the digital transformation. SAP benefits from Porsche's industry know-how and incorporates this knowledge in their standard solutions. We, in turn, are leveraging their standard capabilities, and we aim at exploiting the full potential of our two key drivers. First, data-driven business models, and second, a highly scalable and flexible end-to-end processes-driven architecture with embedded AI functionalities. Becoming a data-driven company means putting data at the heart of everything we do. And it means finally enabling new and more efficient ways of operating. One example of ramping up the way we operate is how we will approach decision-making in this new era. The goal is to embrace immediate fact-based decision-making on all organizational levels and have a 360-degree view on our company. To set the course, we are currently working on a central master data management solution with SAP and the Volkswagen Group. SAP Master Data Governance allows us to harmonize and manage our master data across the company and increase the quality of our information. On top, we are already building our Porsche digital boardroom, digitizing and integrating the entire reporting process across all functions. We are starting with finance, followed by procurement, production, and all other business areas. This might replace our department-specific, manually prepared PowerPoint decks and Excel sheets. In fact, with SAP Analytics Cloud, we will have one integrated and single reporting based on real-time information, offering role-based insights and visualizations. We can already today see impressive outcomes. For instance, our management and sales reporting has decreased from 3 days to 20 seconds lead time. But we even think bigger. Let us have a look at the entire value chain and focus end-to-end processes. We are working on a highly standardized, seamlessly integrated, and thus highly agile solution landscape. This provides us advantages in various business areas, such as customer service, manufacturing, logistics, and after-sales. We know that we are in the middle of our path in shaping the digital transformation, and we are happy to have SAP as a strong partner at our side. There are already visions how an intelligent automotive enterprise could look like in the future. Let me be honest, I am personally already very much looking forward to turning these visions into reality. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Mr. Meschke, for these impressive insights. It is an absolute honor to partner that closely with you and Porsche to make you ready for success, now and in the future. Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, let us now dive into such a vision of an intelligent automotive company, our vision. Let us experience the intelligent enterprise potential by putting ourselves in the shoes of someone who wants to buy a new car. Something fancy, of course, but with a lightweight eco-footprint. Here are the milestones of the journey we will go through: configuration, planning, procurement, manufacturing, delivery, operation, and second life. Everything starts with the configuration of a car, according to my likes and needs. I can do this directly on my mobile. I go with an electric model in black, with artificial leather for my sports seats.
Can I order an 82
Let's
911
see
with a whale
what
tail?
else I can choose.
No? Oh, okay.
Many options are already pre-selected according to my liking. This preset configuration is based on multiple sources. The battery capacity, for instance, is based on my average driving distance and intensity. This and further information can be accessed in my customer profile. The intelligent driving assistance was selected in addition to cruise control. This combination was highlighted as it led to an increased customer satisfaction in previous orders. Other elements, such as the metric slides, come from my peer group's social trends, market trends, most popular combinations of options, and the number of service incidents and maintenance costs per option. What further simplifies my selection of options is that the system informs me about the environmental footprint and the sustainability impact of my choice. Finally, I can request a quote directly via the app and get a call back from my local dealer to finalize my order. Thereby, the request is routed to the dealer representative
Show of
with
hands.
the highest digital
Who's ever
satisfaction
picked the color
scores,
of a car based on the
increasing
carbon
the likelihood
footprint?
of a greater customer
The
experience.
color, not the car. The
After
color of the
Christian
car.
has finalized his purchase, it is time for planning, where his order is coming in.
Anybody?
What we can
No?
see here is the so-called
Me either.
digital twin, a key element and enabler of data-driven manufacturing. It is a virtual copy of Christian's car, which reflects the components he selected, such as the model, the battery capacity, and the artificial leather seats.
How is she levitating?
Supported by technologies such as IoT, 3D simulation tools, and predictive analytics, the digital twin will represent Christian's car along its entire life cycle. Put simply, it brings together the physical and the digital world, and it reflects all data and information about the car. The digital twin is one of many elements available in the control tower,
Spending a
the
lot of time on
one-stop
cars
shop
today.
for all information. It provides us with a transparent and true 360 view of the organization across all business metrics and the entire supply chain. We can see potential issues in real time, solve challenges before they even occur, manage exceptions, and orchestrate responses. In the control tower, we can see the available plant and workforce capacity, as well as supply of required components to fulfill Christian's order. Thanks to intelligent alerts, we learn that we may run into fulfillment issues if we don't adapt our plan. But as the system also directly suggests solutions, we can easily do that. Thereby, we don't only look at our own company, but instead we are provided with an overview of the whole business network. This allows us to fill any potential gaps with the help of our ecosystem.
Sound effects are tripping me out.
Let's select a bigger manufacturing plant.
Bit overdone.
By doing so, we see that
But
we
it's fun.
resolved our capacity shortage. But our carbon footprint increased significantly. As we also want to be sustainable, we choose another, more eco-friendly alternative. With planning done, let's look at the next step. One integral part of any manufacturing business is strategic and operational procurement. Strategic supplier selection, for instance, is crucial to create a more sustainable, profitable, and resilient business. Suppliers traditionally are scored based on a multitude of criteria that mainly drive profitability, such as timely deliveries, good quality, and low cost scores. But as an intelligent enterprise, we also want to improve other dimensions, such as
Relationship
business
duration?
resiliency and our environmental footprint. Therefore, we also include elements such as risk assessments or sustainability criteria like working conditions, geographic proximity, and carbon output. And this is exactly what you can see here, allowing us to make strategically sound, responsible, and future-proof decisions. Moving on to operational procurement. This involves all activities around the day-to-day business. And here, with the global economy more volatile than ever, especially exception handling is becoming increasingly important. Because if a supplier cannot deliver the requested components on time or in the right amount, it can jeopardize the entire production and the ability to fulfill our customers' orders. As an intelligent enterprise, however, you can benefit from transparent and actionable insights into your entire sourcing network. You can see that in case of critical situations, the system not only notifies you, it also suggests and takes counteractions to mitigate negative business impact. Having seen how intelligent planning and sourcing for Christian's electric car and its components take place, we now wonder how it gets assembled during manufacturing of the future. Here, we are inside an intelligent factory where Industry 4.0 enables a highly digitalized and connected plant with machines, robots, and humans working side by side. All seemingly disparate parts of production are connected via IoT devices or advanced integrated circuits. We can measure, control everything that's happening throughout the process. Let's have a look at how this flexibility enhances the customer experience.
I just learned that a new sustainably sourced fabric has been made available. I like this a lot and would like to go with that instead of the artificial black leather for my seats. And when I trigger this change, I'm immediately informed about the impact on the environmental footprint, and I can see it going down, as well as the impact on the delivery date of my car.
Back in the manufacturing plant, we not only see Christian's car come to life. Moreover, we can observe the consequences of the change he made. We see the necessary actions triggered along the highly integrated value chain. And eventually, the seats with the new fabrics are received from a supplier and built into the new vehicle. Living up to such last-minute changes
where does the
needs
car that was
complete
being
horizontal
built
and vertical
sit
integration,
until the new seats get
two of
there?
the most important factors for production in an intelligent factory. Essentially, vertical integration ensures that machines, devices, workers, and processes work together seamlessly. Horizontal integration, on the other hand, allows production data to be used for making business decisions. It allows communication between the shop floor network and other systems, such as ERP or manufacturing execution system. This increases visibility and collaboration throughout the value chain. Once Christian's car and the newly chosen seats are assembled, it's ready for delivery.
I have to admit, I'm really excited. Thanks to blockchain, I can track and trace my order and see that it will arrive momentarily at my house.
You're watching it with a 3-year-old and he's amazed by the graphics.
After delivery comes the fun part, driving the new car.
Probably looks like one big video game.
My wife and I decide to spontaneously take a ride into town, spending a nice evening in the city with a great dinner in a restaurant, followed by a movie. Thanks to the built-in digital assistant, we can see where a parking slot is available. We can reserve a table in our favorite restaurant, and we can book our tickets for the cinema. And when we drive home later, we get one invoice, thanks to integrated finance processes. Also, just imagine you drive to Italy on vacation. Thanks to SAP, you can book an insurance on top, on the fly.
During every step of the product lifecycle, Christian's car is generating data. Vehicle data can be used for many different purposes. One is to improve the driving experience, as we've just heard from Christian. For the intelligent automotive company, this means staying in constant contact with Christian, for instance, by collecting both direct and unsolicited feedback. It is coming in through over 40 different channels, like voice, text, and
Have we
social
had any
media.
major announcements?
Now,
Have
we can
I
easily
missed
find
anything?
out what we can do to increase customer satisfaction. But vehicle data can also be used for other purposes, to improve road safety, to reduce energy
This
consumption,
feels like a
or
101
to
class of what
optimize
SAP
products
does.
and services. As this vehicle data includes information about the condition of the separate parts, it can also play a crucial role in future design and engineering. For example, potential weaknesses in a built-in part can be detected and swapped out in future productions. Further insights on usage and condition of components help determine second life options. Aftermarket volume is growing rapidly and becoming increasingly important to all industries. So, when the car has served its purpose and it is time for its disposal, it has provided us not only with a continuous learning cycle. It further allows us to turn the end of the car's life into a new beginning. We create a true life cycle in which parts of Christian's electric car
Maybe that
add
was the
value
competition, is
even
whoever can
after
actually
its
get the stream
disposal.
working wins
And
a
this,
Porsche
ladies and
with a
gentlemen,
Terminator.
is how we can transition to the circular economy.
In closing, let me sum it up. To transform into resilient, profitable, and sustainable intelligent enterprises, 3 principles are key. Integration. We will deliver a strong business process integration across the entire value chain. Innovation. We will infuse intelligence across our whole portfolio and deliver new, differentiating business innovations. Agility and speed. We will further accelerate both time to value and innovation cycles. All with one focus: our customer success. SAP was always best when we listened to you. We want to serve you with the best possible business outcome, help you to quickly adopt and get the value out of our solutions to ensure your long-term success. This doesn't stop at the point of sale. It is all about ensuring adoption and generating value across the whole life cycle. True business transformation is about holistic solutions. It is about identifying the right set of products and functionalities to address your needs. It is about their appropriate implementation and seamless adoption. My colleague Adair Fox-Martin will show how we turn the intelligent enterprise a reality for our customers. And it is not only Adair who will share her vision with you over the upcoming days. Thomas Saueressig and Jürgen Miller will add further detail to our evolved vision of the intelligent enterprise. Luka Mucic will talk all things business transformation. Please make sure you join my colleagues and their guests during the many sessions that this year's Sapphire holds. And I'm already looking forward to our interactive Q&A. Please bring all your questions and feedback. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm convinced my daughter Emma, my son Max, and their entire generation will one day hold me, will hold all of us responsible for our performance in achieving these goals. And I feel pretty confident, because together we embarked on the journey to becoming intelligent enterprises. We have come a long way already, and you can be sure that you have our full commitment all the way. Together, we develop, optimize, and deploy solutions that help us master the ultimate challenge, making a significant contribution to growth and social well-being while acting sustainably. Together, we will make decisive progress, making sustainability profitable and profitability sustainable. And that is how the best will be measured. Never has the purpose of our efforts been better. Never has our contribution been more important. For Emma, for Max, for all your children and grandchildren, for your whole families and loved ones, and for all of us. Let's show the world that when people and technology meet, amazing things can happen. Thank you all for joining.
Hey, you need to scream at me. Oh God, it's cutting out. What's happening? Oh, they lost it. Oh, okay. All right. Well, what a mess. What in the world? The website's still trying to pull up, by the way. Yeah, this has been an interesting morning for sure. Let me switch things over here a little bit so we can get back to it. Don't go anywhere just yet. We are going to be having our watch party here. I've got to get things up and running and get Mr. Kirk Ryan on the horn. But yes, we will be doing some of that. I'm turning a little music on here for us while I get things rolling. But bear with me 1 second. Yeah, the Periscope thing just kind of cut out right there at the end. Like as soon as they were done, they're like, we're out. On to the next. See if we can get Kirk on here. Boop, boop, boop. Oh, goodness. Kirk, you there, buddy? All right, hang tight. I got to fix my camera thing. It's not cooperating. Oh, goodness. Yeah. All right. Guys, hang tight. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right here. We're just doing some little bit of live troubleshooting. So let me flip things around. All right. One sec, guys. Be right back. Start streaming. All right, we're live now. All right. I gotta get my window pulled back up here. Yes. All right. So let me make sure I can get the tubes of you back up and online. Sorry for the little clip there, guys. OBS was being a little bit difficult with me getting the cameras switched over, but we're back. Thank you very much to Mr. Kirk Ryan for joining me here on the channel. The audio is bad now. Well, that's not good. Restart the... All right.
Hopefully it's okay from this side. Perfect. Cheers, happy.
And all right, let's see if that's better. Kirk, say something for me, Kirk.
Hey, everyone. And I don't really know what to say after watching that, to be honest.
Yeah, I'm at this weird point where I'm trying to figure out what was it we actually just watched.
Well, I don't really know, but I've somehow managed to write a page of notes. And a lot of that was around buying a Porsche is going to be easier than ever. And I will know a lot about the climate and environment.
First, okay, I think my sound is still jacked. Let me see if I can hear what it sounds like. It might help me. Oh, boy. All right, hang tight one sec, guys. Sorry for the technical difficulties. Let's try that now. All right. Technical difficulties solved. Sorry about that, guys. It's interesting trying to switch things around from watching something live to having a conversation with a peer here on the stream. So first of all, if you guys do not know who I am, hi. I just want to introduce myself. My name is Nick Howell, a.k.a. the Data Center Dude. I'm the Global Field CTO at NetApp for our cloud data services. And one of the people that I have looked up to and have been following for the last couple of years on this journey, mostly throughout Azure NetApp Files. And Kirk, I'm going to let you introduce yourself here because you wear so many hats. But Kirk Ryan, based out of the UK, has been on the forefront of what's going on in Azure NetApp Files, and our integrations with SAP HANA for a long time now. So Kirk, do me a favor, let everybody know who you are and what you're up to and why you're here.
Thanks, Nick, and it's a pleasure to be here with everyone. So my name's Kirk. I am the principal technologist for Azure NetApp Files. I'm based over here in EMEA, UK. If you want to know exactly where, Liverpool. And yeah, I mean, I've been on the journey since, as I say, day one with the work we've been doing around helping customers build SAP in Azure. So whether that's building new projects or moving existing ones into the cloud, as in the whole stack. So it's been interesting, lessons learned, lots of success, and yeah, long may it continue. Really, it's been a very busy place to be. Yeah. So yep, absolutely pleasure to be on this.
So how would you describe to somebody in 30 seconds, or give them the elevator pitch of what exactly is Azure NetApp Files?
So Azure NetApp Files, the first thing I would say is just because it has the word NetApp in there, you're not expected to know any NetApp whatsoever.
Yeah.
Probably the most confusing thing about it is the name. It's actually a Microsoft service. It's the same as buying a premium disk or an ultra disk. It's not a marketplace offering. It is extremely high performant, low latency, with a lot of reliability built in, shared file platform that Microsoft have brought to market. We are the OEM. We helped Microsoft build it, hence why our name's in it. And you would have seen some really interesting things in the news around, you know, the history that NetApp has with SAP stuff in the background, and our history of building rather large multi-petabyte estates of it.
Oh, yeah.
So that's what we're doing, is helping people build it out in Azure.
Yeah, and the biggest takeaway for me that I've watched happen is that one of the big obstacles for tier 1 applications and large workloads and things like that in the cloud in general, even on-prem, is usually storage performance and latency. There's usually some very large multi-tier database, back-end infrastructure that nobody except the DBAs and the infrastructure folks see, but it's usually the number one cause of performance issues for the front end that everybody sees. So how have we solved all of that stuff for the cloud? The reason I wanted you to introduce Azure NetApp Files really is because we've fixed a key problem, and that's storage performance. And that, to me, is what has enabled SAP. So can you talk about that journey a little bit?
Sure. So, I mean, if you look right at the start of the journey, before even Azure NetApp Files was on the scene, if you were going to go and build an SAP environment or landscape in Azure, you'd be expected to build a lot of it as IaaS. So that means, you know, even for just shared files, the low performance or the backup or whatever it may be, you were building them on your own NFS clusters. You had to build your own file services because Azure didn't have NFS service that you could just say, give me an NFS volume. Yeah. And that's where the partnership really came from is, okay, look, NFS is fundamental to workloads such as SAP HANA, as well as pretty much anything that operates in Linux or Unix. So it was a big gaping hole to have in their portfolio, especially when you looked at the competitive landscape. And, you know, SAP and Azure wanted to make, or Microsoft wanted to make Azure, you know, one of the go-to places to go and do SAP HANA. So that partnership really came from saying, well, who's out there that does NFS at this scale? Ooh. Who is it that understands, you know, the reliability, the scaling, right. You know, so that was really where it all came from. And yeah, we were glad that we got ahead of that curve, and you know, we're almost 2 years into this now, so it's been going very well.
It's not just we're just ahead of the curve. I think that's important to call it. There's nobody else doing what we're doing in the public cloud right now. It's hard. Like, I love a good, healthy competition more than anybody, I think. But there's not a lot out there outside of the services that the native cloud providers themselves are providing. So
that's
we're kind of running this as we go. It's not like there's some charter to compete against an HP or a Dell EMC or a Pure or anybody else that's doing this kind of, like, who's delivering PaaS storage offerings directly off of their own gear in not just one, but all three major public cloud providers. Anybody? Nobody. Us. That's it. Like, maybe we'll get vSAN and with VMC and things like that at some point in the future. That could be interesting, but I'll believe it when I see it. At this point, if you want... Look, there's also some gaps here. This isn't just all about Azure. Google Cloud. Did you know before, recently, you could not do SMB in Google Cloud? If you wanted to do anything other than NFS, you had to kind of roll your own, build it, export it out, do all that, right? If you wanted to run NFS in Azure, you had to roll your own. Now you have a turnkey PaaS offering that will do both NFS and SMB across all three cloud providers. Give it a name, give it a capacity, give it a service level.
Yeah.
It's brilliant.
And, you know, that's probably the majority of the conversations. I'd say almost every customer I've spoken to over the last 18 months have come from that place. they're either had already built it and it was an area they wanted to improve, or they'd identified it and it was holding up the project. It was a blocker. So,
Sure.
yeah, it's quite nice to work for a company that we can turn around and say, well, we're the only vendor that is certified, not just by SAP, but also by the hyperscalers themselves. There's the 3 players in this across the 2 biggest clouds for SAP HANA, right? So yeah, it's certainly great to be in that space. And
what are some of the complicated things involved directly with SAP? Since we have a mostly SAP sort of audience here, what are some of the things that were tricky in the cloud specifically? We did announce the SAP HANA certification last fall. I'm curious if you have any memories of going through that process and things that stood out to you that you didn't think were going to be possible in the cloud, or any good stories to tell there.
So yeah, I mean, we always had a confidence that from a storage perspective, obviously we've done this on-prem for a long time, so we knew the technology was well proven. What was new was then actually, how do you take something that we've done and customers have skilled up in what we've done and how to do it, and basically turn it into something native? So you're talking like native APIs, native billing. It's not coming from a marketplace. It's coming straight off your enterprise agreement. It's supported by Microsoft in that instance. That sort of stuff. It was actually the work, the most engineering work went into integration, right? And that was like one of the three key points that was mentioned in that keynote was, the integration. I straight away just thought, actually, that's exactly where the crux of our engineering went, was in that sort of that key area. So, I mean, when we started on the certification process and everything, I suppose it was actually saying, well, actually, we know the storage can do it. Can the network handle how much I/O we're going to throw at it? That's where I was sort of looking at, we may need to change the way to do things in networking here. So, but luckily everything went through. We've got very scalable solution there, and lots of stuff that, Chad and Bernd and all the other experts in performance and much more bigger experts in SAP than me that have written and shown a lot of this stuff in action. So it's great to see what the art of the possible is. But more importantly, I suppose it's great to see that actually, I look at my customer base, how many people there at SAP are, the majority are SAP. So, yeah.
I mean, I don't know of any of the Fortune 1000 that aren't using it. I struggle to find anybody that's not using some element of SAP's software stack. Some or all. I'll say it that way. It seems so tied into the modern day-to-day business world that you're going to find it in some way, shape, or form across just about every enterprise out there. There's going to be somebody that's using the ERP. There's going to be somebody that's using a lot of the other pieces. There's different varying levels of who's going to do it, whether you're in manufacturing or healthcare or finance or everybody's using SAP in 2020. So I think it's that big of a deal that we make sure and prioritize performance, because if you've ever used any sort of database-driven multi-tier application before, you know that storage performance is paramount, right? There are certainly things in the database architectures, but if you have terrible storage latency and terrible storage performance, it affects everything else all the way up stack. So I love the fact that we have proven that we can go in and get hundreds of thousands of IOPS at sub-millisecond latency, gigabytes per second kind of throughput in Azure NetApp natively. Just without, I never have to touch a knob. I never have to touch a storage array. It blows my mind that that's even possible, but it's real.
And to do it without knowing anything about storage, I mean, you only need to know 2 things, right? It's how much space do you need and how fast you want to go. If you can answer those 2 questions, and SAP give you a document that tells you how fast you got to go and what your sizing should really be, then you just click go. You fill in those 2 and you hit go, and off you go. But I suppose where everyone starts is very different from your journey of where you end. And where I've seen with customers, they all start from a very similar starting point. But then their needs, as they learn them, and as the systems goes live and everything else, and we saw it, case in point with the stream today, right? Is they probably said we're going to have this many viewers, and then this many turned up, and that's what we saw the effects of right there. And it's no different in database, right? You build it, and the reality is you don't really know 100% what's going to happen when it gets out in the wild, sort of thing. True. So, having as an architect, I always think, well, where's the ceiling? Because if I'm going to put it in this place and it's taken me some time to get there, how much breathing space does that give me before I got to basically do this thing again?
True.
So yeah, with ANF in Azure, that's been great for me building solutions over the last 18 months because I've been the most relaxed I've ever been as an architect in many years. Like, you used to like put solutions in and you'd go, oh, there's only 20% room there, so they've said they want 5% growth a year or whatever it may be, and you think, okay, well, they got their 3 years, that's what they asked for. But in the cloud, it's like, well, like you said, a project can go live much faster than ever before. In fact, our POCs, generally we start a POC within a week. We will say, right, let's not do this on a PowerPoint, let's go and set the environment up and we'll go do it. And then you got nowhere to go. There's no, well, you signed off on this. It's actually, we're here. How can we change stuff dynamically? And more importantly as well, and something that's really unique about what we're doing here is there's a traditional way you size storage, which was always, hey, we need this much. This is our peak, and we're going to size for like this line here so that we can always deal with the peak.
Yeah.
And what's changed is, well, actually in the cloud, and it's widely understood for compute, is, well, when there's no demand, I don't want to pay for the gap between the baseline and this, because that's my cost saving. That's why I'm going to the cloud in the first place, right? And it's widely understood with compute. But with storage, if you've ever tried pulling disks out your array, and I'm not sure where your array is in the picture, if it's like somewhere in the background or something, but try pull a disk out and then try pull another one. Mine's there. If I try pull 3 disks out because I'm not using them, I know what's going to happen, right? So with the solutions that we've gone and built, yeah, it's not healthy, but you can just do it. You can say, well, actually, you pay for performance in the cloud. Anyone can buy it, sell a gigabyte. Sure. A gigabyte's easy. You pay for performance. And if you can scale that performance, that's where you make your cost savings. So that's been the cool bit for us, is also saying that was a learning adventure for us. We knew we could do it. We just didn't know what those would be.
Sure.
And we didn't know how to get them. It was like, well, how do you actually figure out when you need and how you need it and stuff? So there's been a journey.
Yeah, this is definitely one of those where, like, I came before, like, pre-2010, getting into virtualization. I was an admin, engineer, right? And at the end of the day, it was my job to make sure everything stayed up and running and that everybody could get to their email and get to the applications and all of that. So, yeah, performance was always a big deal. And just as availability was a big deal. What is the current state of things when it comes to Azure NetApp files with regards to HA, cross-region, things like that? And how does that affect things like SAP implementations? I did put a link in the chat for everybody to TR, 4746, which is our Azure implementation guide, basically, our TR for using Azure NetApp files to run SAP in Azure. So definitely have a look if you want to see what some of our recommendations and our best practices and things like that are. But yeah, Kirk, talk to me about scaling. Talk to me about cross-region, availability zones, anything that you can, because I think there's been this experience that we can only operate in one node, one facet, and that kills the idea of any kind of scaling.
So yeah, it's an important thing to know, right? So we were proud to announce a while back that we're actually operating at 4 nines out of a single zone. So historically, you've always had to go to a minimum of 2 zones to get 4 nines, right? You don't need to do that with ANF. The storage subsystem is already delivering 4 nines. So you've got your SLA there, and you can build that out as part of a composite solution to get 4 nines all the way through your stack, because it's a lot more than just the data. But from the data perspective, 4 nines. So that's pretty cool. The next thing, though, and it's been my whole day today, has literally just been talking to some of these companies that are heavily using SAP and for a global level, and it's been like, well, cross-region replication. What's new? How does that help us? How does it do it? And for those that have used any of our stuff before, they're very familiar with it. They know it through a different name. Some of you will know it for its brand name and stuff. But when we're talking about in Azure, obviously we don't use that name because you don't ever touch or expect it to know anything about NetApp. All you need is cross-region replication. Yep. And it's as simple as if you've got a primary volume in, let's say, EU West, and you want proper regional DR that you can control, then you go and set a secondary, protection volume in EU North, and you tell it. You go and replicate every 10 minutes or once an hour or once a day or however often you want to go and do it. And there's no networking for you to set up. It uses the Azure backbone. It's extremely fast. It's the fastest replication you can get between the two sites. Yep. From a data perspective, you're not limited by VM hosts or NICs or anything like that. It's all just done for you, as in proper paths. So once you've set up your source, you set up the destination, and you just cross-region replication, off you go. Now, it is only in peered regions, right? So you got EU West, EU North, you've got the UK regions coming online. I think that's this week, which is pretty cool. You've got the US regions that appear to one another. We've had that since December. Some early access customers over there heavily using that.
So question in the chat said that's for geo-replication from the Misa. I want to reiterate what you just said. This is for partners, regional partner data centers.
Yeah.
So as long as you're going between those, yes, you're going over the backbone. You're getting super crazy fast speeds, and it's not at basically no cost to you. So
that's it. I mean, if you look at the chart of who's got the fastest speed, you probably got someone like Microsoft, and you got Nick for his streams, and then I'm probably in the third place somewhere there, right? So you're using the Azure backbone entirely, so you don't even need to do global VNet peering. Right. It doesn't use any of the networking your side, which means, well, that's one less thing for me to manage or set up or orchestrate. I don't need to template it with my Terraform or anything like that. It's just, as I'm provisioning the volume, I can tell it go provision the partner, authenticate the two. So it's always it's secure, and it's delivered by the platform. So if I would have to pay for an application to go and do that for me, maybe there's an additional replication license or something. If it suits my needs, then I can just use the storage instead and replace that license entirely.
So when you're setting that up, is it done at volume creation at the sort of inception, or is that something I can add to an existing volume down the road?
Yeah, so your primary volume will have to exist because you need to point it at the primary volume to start with. So when you're setting up your secondary volume, basically you tell it where the source is as part of that provisioning. Then what happens is basically you have the handshake. So, there's a protection mechanism in there that an admin can't just go in and say, I'm going to take all the data from that subscription over there. It basically says, okay, well, somebody with permission to the source will need to go and authorize that relationship. So it's in a pending state, effectively. Once you've authorized it, that's it. It goes to the schedule that you put in. So if you put every 10 minutes, it may be it is pretty much, so far from what I've seen, 20 past, half past, 22. So it is pretty much set up like that, and off you go. So I did the demos, and the feedback I got today, for example, showing this one organization, we had an hour slot. We got to the 17th minute. He goes, so it's that easy. Like, yeah. What do you want to speak about with the rest of the time?
Right.
So
you had an hour time allotted, and you got through it in 17 minutes.
Yeah. Yep.
Question in the chat from the Misa again. Thanks for asking these, by the way. Guys, if you have questions, throw them in the chat. Kirk and I will be happy to answer them here. You're sharing the bandwidth with the rest of Azure. When you're doing that, it's not dedicated speed for the customer. Is that correct?
So it's the Azure backbone, right? So everyone's sharing something somewhere, right? When it comes to Azure, unless you're paying for dedicated compute or anything, the network itself, it is there. And obviously what you get is that your volumes basically dictate how fast you can go. So that's your read speed, your write speed, so bigger volumes, more throughput. So it's directly linked to that. And the really cool thing is you don't need a third-party sort of software to go and monitor this. It's in the Azure Monitor directly, so you can see what's the lag time, all the usual stuff we check. How much data am I transferring? What is really cool is if you're worried about bandwidth, just to know that it is using the same technologies we use on-prem, right? So that means before we move your data, it's you've got your one-time sync, but that is post efficiencies and everything else that happens. Right. So that is already very efficient data. It's compressed, it's compacted, it's everything under the covers and sent down the wire. So that means that you can get in that consistent synchronized state faster than ever, especially when compared to, for example, the way we do it today with Cloud Sync. And that's not saying don't use Cloud Sync. We've got a lot of customers using Cloud Sync and stuff, but this is the next generation of taking that protection to a new level. Now,
and over the Azure backbone, not over your own circuits that you've wired up.
Exactly. And then when you take that and you say, okay, right, now we're doing things at a block level. It's a entirely different game. You are then saying, well, it's change only delta between, what could be every 10 minutes. And you're giving the database admins and everyone else the ability to actually turn around and say, well, I'm giving you the equivalent of a full restore at the cost of an incremental. And that's from a network cost, from a storage cost, from everything else. And it couldn't be more simpler than that. So, Bernd Heath, for example, published the article on some of the websites we have outlining how this all works, how you can see it in the landscape manager, everything else there. And it, one of the DBAs I was talking to today actually turned around and said to me, so that means if we were doing hourlies, the maximum amount of logs I'd ever have to replay would be 59 minutes, 59 seconds, worst case. I said, yeah. Why? What does that mean to you? He said, well, today, if I had to do a full restore, it could be 23 hours. That's the difference between it taking 16, 18 hours to restore to get back to a good state. So using this, I'm talking about taking it down to maybe less than an hour for a full restore on his estate. So I thought, well, okay, well, that's your value right there. You sold the product to yourself.
Yeah. No, it's funny when you see the customers get it. And the interesting thing to note here is, like, this is not like all new surprise stuff that NetApp has come out with. This is stuff NetApp has been doing for decades. So the reason it's easy for us to, in a way, teach these cloud providers how to more efficiently do these things is because it's not stuff that they've ever done before or done well. And here we come as the godfathers of NAS, and SAN at this point, frankly. We've figured out how to move data between nodes across with Metro Cluster, have highly available working sets and all of that. So this isn't, it comes across in a way a little bit arrogant sometimes that we know how to do this stuff, but it's because we've been doing it for so long. And I think people get into the cloud and they think that they have to use the native storage from the cloud providers in order for their thing to work in the cloud. But it's not true. They can use the stuff from us. So,
and it's exactly that, right? So we solved these problems quite a while back with SAP themselves, right? Who just went on the record to say, SAP, NetApp, long history, done a lot together. In fact, a lot of SAP runs on NetApp.
Yeah.
Right. So that's just been released on the record. So that's a really interesting sort of vote of confidence. The vendor of this equipment runs their stuff on NetApp. So if you're looking to go to the cloud, and you saw the keynote, right? You're saying, the cloud, they're looking to go into it. They want to make the application stack a bit more agile and everything else. And then you look at, okay, well, your data's got to sit somewhere. How are you going to protect it? How are you going to make sure it's reliable, it's available? And then they talked about agility quite a bit. So I'm doing buzzword bingo now, am I?
Well, let's get back to technical stuff. So the Misa, again, thank you for the questions. Wants to clarify, for a system using NetApp-mounted files for HANA and DB or log, any value in using NetApp replication to get the data to the second zone or region instead of relying on HSR? How does NetApp work together with HSR? So let's clarify again. If you're doing regional replication, cross-regional replication, CRR, if you're doing that between your partner geo-regional regions, that is going over, let's just say that's interconnected stamps of NetApp gear between the two regions talking to each other over the NetApp backbone. Is that fair to say, Kirk?
That's right.
You're not going out over the front end or using any sort of other VPNs or express routes or trying to do anything out of the front door. It's being handled for you on the back end in the most granular way possible, in the way that NetApp has been doing it for a really, really long time, preserving all of the efficiencies all of the best practices to make sure that all that's done. Also, Greg is saying,
Yeah.
did you say you can configure a POC in less than a week?
Yeah, we've had customers actually provision much faster. Like within a week, we've gone from conversation to small scale POC, functional testing, then testing pipelines around how they provision it, what they're going to use to monitor it, where the alarms are. And I'm not saying they go live after a week, but the POC certainly from that standpoint, we've either got a yes, no, of yeah, this does exactly what they said. It's as performant as they said. It's as easy as they said. And then, the other thing is then we start looking at the other use cases. So you got data and log, which you mentioned there for using the HANA system replication. And again, that's not to say don't use HANA system replication. I'm certainly not saying that. That's got a continuous sort of replication that's available. And that's something that cross-region won't do. Cross-region is asynchronous.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's really good for things like your shared binaries, maybe your backups, other pieces
Redo
there,
logs
and then
things like that.
Exactly that sort of stuff. And then you do have the pieces on top of that where you then might have sort of different requirements between. If your SAP is built on Windows, for example, then you've got SMB out the same service with the same metrics and everything else and monitoring that, and then you can protect it in the same way as well. So they're really sort of a lot of where we see.
Yeah, I think the differentiator is coming down to
usage
between
change.
like DR versus application level. I mean, if we generalize things a little bit more, there's DR, there's keeping your data safe just in case, and then there's a sort of application level availability conversation you have to have where you have a failover, a live failover in case something, if everything goes to, all of a sudden your users are redirected with a elastic load balancer over to this other compute instance that's running that also has a synchronous copy. To me, those are two different conversations, and it really depends. I would do both depending on your needs. There's going to be reasons for both.
Yeah, and one doesn't preclude you from doing the other, right? Because you think about it, if you've got a consistent application restore point, and that's absolutely what ANF can go and deliver for you. If you're replicating bad data or something, you've got that point where you can say, let's go back to the last known consistent state. Now, okay, given that might be rare, but at least you can go back to the business and say, we've given ourselves those restore points at two sites, for example. So not only just in the US, everything that exists in EU West would then exist in EU North, which is pretty cool. But the other thing as well is when it comes to refreshing the dev, UAT, and non-production environments. So it's much more than just DR. It's also about saying, well, if it takes me 16 hours to go and refresh a landscape, well, what can ANF do for me there? Can it reduce the time? Yes, absolutely. When I did this, and admittedly, it wasn't SAP I did this with. I did this with a different database. Let's just say it was that. But the premise is the same. And it used to take 26 hours when I did this, when I first joined a bank before I worked for NetApp. I left joining NetApp knowing that I'd taken them from 26 hours of backup to 23 seconds.
I had a similar experience.
Oh, that...
Oracle backup using this technology typically took 8 hours with DataGuard and RMAN, and we took it to about 57 seconds.
It's mad, isn't it? It's mad. And I just saw a great question that I run into, on the chat, which was SMB and SIFs.
Oh,
so
man.
That
you know what did it for me was in the Linux kernel actually finally started defaulting to SMB2, I believe it was, and that was kind of the death knell for SIFs, right? Once they defaulted to SMB2 in the Linux kernel distributions, that was it. Done.
That's it. So yeah,
all SMB all the time.
SMB all the time. So SIFs is what? SMB version 1.
Yeah.
1.0.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
So we're now on 3.
Well, yeah, what is the state of that in... so I wanted to close... Well, before we move on, I wanted to close out the SAP sort of conversation here in the way that... this isn't just an Azure conversation. We're very proud of receiving the SAP HANA certification using Azure NetApp Files recently. That is a big, big, big milestone. Anybody that's ever been a part of any sort of SAP HANA certification understands what's involved with that. So kudos to yourself, Kirk, and everybody else on the greater Azure NetApp Files team, everybody on the SAP and Azure teams that were involved. That is a big, big monumental milestone that's going to pay off for all of us going on in the future. But I wanted to shift gears a little bit because it isn't just all about Azure. We've got this for Google Cloud, and if I'm not mistaken, I don't know that much about AWS. Full disclosure, I'm mostly an Azure guy, and I'm learning more and more about Google Cloud. But I'm wondering, at a certain point, this becomes a sort of ubiquitous solution for true multi-cloud, and that includes the hybrid nature of that being on-prem. So I like to talk in the bigger conversations about what hybrid multi-cloud really looks like. When you're doing things like you have an on-prem installation, you either need to migrate that on-prem into the cloud, into a running instance that might be up there. You might want to be evacuating an entire data center, but you have that instance sitting there and you need a way to move it up that's going to give you the same level of performance and scalability. Or maybe you are just that big and you want to have more than one cloud provider and on-prem, and you want it to all be in sync or basically geolocated on a globe. All of this is available today. That's what I wanted to drive home. There's nothing stopping it anymore. You got the storage performance in the cloud that can handle it now. So, anything you want to add to that, Kirk?
I think you've said it well there, to be honest. And yeah, there's not really much I can add other than you can get started immediately. If you wanted to try it out, if you want to put our word to the test, then it's there. It's there. You can spin it up, and if you don't like it, you've spent a few hours and you're done.
Question from Brett in the chat. Will CVS for GCP and AWS become HANA certified in the very near future? I'm not 100% sure. I'm not sure.
So CVS for GCP just got certified, right?
I believe it did, yes. But I'm not 100% sure, so I don't... Let's go check. I think Greg was saying it did in the chat, right?
That's right. Yeah, so CVS for GCP is already there.
HANA certified.
That's nice. So that's 2 down.
Yeah. AWS can be tricky sometimes, but we're working with them on it. We're working with them.
Yeah. Can we do it? Absolutely.
So what else did you take away from Christian's keynote? I wrote 2 things down. I wrote down lots of sound effects, lots of talk about cars. An exorbitant amount of conversation in a large opening keynote about cars and about moral imperatives and carbon footprints and robotic sound effects. But I missed, and you know, this is a thing that's going on all throughout this week. We intentionally targeted, we wanted to see Christian's first keynote as CEO after moving up from COO. So I definitely wanted to focus in on that. But they are having multiple sessions all throughout this week, guys. We just I can't cover all of them, unfortunately. But there were no announcements. There was literally no major announcements in the opening vision keynote of SAP Sapphire. That astounds me. I'm left a little bit going, well, all right, well, what did we just actually watch? And I'm curious to hear your take on what we actually just watched.
I was thinking the same thing. I was writing my notes and was watching it thinking, I've missed something. Have I missed I've missed the announcement. I've only got a minute. I had one job. It was talk to Nick about what the announcements were and how that would be a good thing. And I was thinking, how did I miss it?
You guys should see my notes for Microsoft Build from a few weeks ago. There's pages and pages of notes. And even the AWS Summit a couple weeks before that, they're just notes after notes after. I literally I wrote down lots of sound effects, lots of talk about cars.
Oh, and you probably missed the most important one, right? Digital twin.
Oh, okay.
Digital twin.
What is digital twin for those that weren't watching?
That's all I wrote, just digital twin. I didn't write the context behind it. It was just, I was scrambling for things to talk about. I thought digital twin might be interesting.
That could be good.
What does digital twin mean to you? I don't know.
I don't know. All of the buzzwords were used, and even some new ones that I hadn't heard before, like digital twin. which might be coming along soon. Look, let's wrap this up here really quickly. SAP had a bad morning. SAP had a really bad morning. They were able to pull it off. I'm glad a lot of you came over and were able to find the stream here. But, yeah, this is one of those things that was a necessary evil, necessary for companies to learn. Look, there's a lot of companies that want to do everything on their own websites, and I understand why. More than anyone, I understand why. But there are platforms out there like YouTube, like Twitch, like even Mixer, if you wanted to. But YouTube and Twitch mostly that have figured out how to scale things to thousands and tens of thousands of users. And all it takes is a little freeware piece of software called OBS. And since everything's pre-recorded, you can push play on a video and hit start streaming and walk away and just let it work. And then you get to have fun conversations like we're having right here. So I understand why SAP's having a bad morning. And I hate that they are the example child for all other companies that we're watching as people learn how to do virtual events and live in this new post-COVID kind of world where we're going to be doing everything virtually like that. I'm glad I was able to get it up and running, but I have to say, I don't know what we saw.
I was getting worried we wouldn't have a keynote to actually talk about.
You were worried. I was like, I'm over here just doing my best, kind of entertaining, and like the website's down. Sorry guys, but I'll tell as many terrible jokes as I can. Maybe Kirk and I can just go ahead and get on. But we got it. Found a Periscope stream hidden under Twitter of it that they were pushing out. So lots of other sessions, lots of other things happening throughout the week. You've got Converge, you've got SapphireNOW, you've got all kinds of different things over at events.sap.com as soon as you can get the website back up. Best of luck with that. I'm going to try and catch a couple of other things this afternoon. But, Kirk, big thanks for coming and hanging out with me, man, and giving this a shot. It's definitely something I want to try more of in the future. But let's get out of here. Let's let everybody go. Thank you, everybody, for subscribing to the channel, too, as well. Come join us in our Discord community. We've got over 200 core technologists where we talk about gaming, any other hobbies or enthusiasts. Plus, we talk about enterprise tech, and we're just sort of try to reignite the community, greater tech community, in a new platform called Discord. So you can do exclamation Discord in the chat. We'll get you a link to that. But for everybody joining us today, don't forget we are back tomorrow for Cisco Live, keynote from Chuck Robbins, CEO over there. And then Thursday, we're going to be doing the VeeamON virtual event watch party. Same thing. Now, that's the day 2 event for Veeam, but we're doing it intentionally because they're doing 90 minutes of tech demos. And we'll also be having an after party for that one with special guest Rick Vanover, who's the Senior Director of Product Strategy over at Veeam. So for Kirk Ryan, my name is Nick Howell. Thank you guys very much for tuning in today. This has been a blast. I'm glad we were able to get it up and running. But take care, guys. Enjoy the rest of your day. We'll see you guys tomorrow for Cisco Live.